Hi, my name is Richard with Sudden Service Heating and Air Conditioning, and today we're going to give you a few examples of some breached heat exchangers, and we're also going to give you a short rundown on how we go about testing these heat exchangers so that you know the right way and the wrong way to go about doing it. If you're not already familiar with some of the dangers of having carbon monoxide in your home, carbon monoxide is not something that you can see, smell, or taste. So it's important to have a low-level carbon monoxide detector installed in your home. The difference between a low-level carbon monoxide detector and then a detector that you would buy at your local hardware store per se is that the ones that you'd buy at your hardware store are programmed to not go off until they've reached 70 parts per million and held 70 parts per million for a total of 4 hours before they actually ding off and let you know that, hey, there's carbon monoxide in here. With that said, a low-level carbon monoxide detector is going to let you know at a much lower increment when there's carbon monoxide in the air. Now, with the ones that you buy at your hardware store, you could have been sitting at 65 parts per million carbon monoxide in the air for months and months or years, and you would have never even known it because it's not going to tell you unless you've been at 70 parts per million for a total of 4 hours. So I think it's anywhere in between 5 and 9 parts per million. They're saying that people can start experiencing anything from headaches to nausea. So definitely important to have that installed in your house. To take things a step further, the fire departments now, it's pretty much an industry average. Somewhere around 35 parts per million is where they're starting to actually suit up, and they will wear a respirator and all that good stuff to go inside your home and investigate where this carbon monoxide is coming from. The reason why that they're doing this is they've actually started to see some health side effects on their firefighters from just carbon monoxide, even in lower levels, over an extended amount of time. So that just goes to show, if you've had carbon monoxide in your house, even in the lower levels, like say 15 parts per million, 10 parts per million for a length of time, you could definitely see some health risks come from that. So get yourself a low-level carbon monoxide detector if you have gas appliances in your house, and make sure that you know before it's too late. So the way that many HVAC contractors in our area have been testing for carbon monoxide is with something like this. This is just a standard carbon monoxide detector that you can buy for a fairly inexpensive price at any HVAC supply shop. What they'll do is, well, hopefully they will zero this thing out outside of your home. If you are zeroing this thing out inside of your home, then your detector is going to be calibrated for the carbon monoxide levels inside of your house. So it's standard practice to be zeroing these things outside of the home so that you know when you walk in, this thing is going to pick up any carbon monoxide that is in the airstream already in your house. Now, we don't just stop at taking this carbon monoxide detector and wandering around your house aimlessly while waving it around and then saying, hey, you don't have any carbon monoxide in your airstream. What we actually do is we test at your heat exchanger. The heat exchanger, for those of you that don't know, is going to be the part of your furnace that the flame travels through, and in turn the air blows over that piece of metal and it turns warm, and that's what heats up your house. That heat exchanger is also going to be where the carbon monoxide is being created. Now, that carbon monoxide should be exhausted out of your home through the exhaust pipe, but what happens over time is sometimes that heat exchanger can become breached or cracked, and that carbon monoxide created by the flame can end up getting into your airstream rather than being exhausted. Now, the second thing that we will do is we will go ahead and confirm our readings from this device with a device like this. The difference between the two is this device does not have a pump, so the readings that you take inside of the airstream may not be as accurate as you would get from something like this. We will take this device, which does have a pump, and we will insert it into your ductwork or your plenum of your HVAC system, and we will confirm what we are seeing with our first device. So this device right here is much more advanced and much more expensive, unfortunately. We will take that and we will just confirm what we were seeing with our first run. So that's about it. That's what goes into the process of doing this. And if the customer requests, we can even take it a step further from that and actually remove that heat exchanger, take it outside and fill it up with water so that they can see where it is leaking from. Hi, my name is Richard with Southern Service Heating and Air Conditioning, and today we're going to give you an example of some breached heat exchangers. Basically what we've done is we've filled them up with water and food coloring to show you where and how badly they are leaking. Some of the common places these heat exchangers will leak is right here at the eyelids and all around these pressed pieces of metal going around the whole side. And actually there's some more happening right there. I don't know that we'll be able to get this to focus, but right here on the sides there's all kinds of blue food coloring coming out, and you can see more right there. But definitely where it looks like it's the worst is right here at the front. There's just all kinds coming out on this one in particular. Over time, a heat exchanger can actually get a lot worse. What's happening is a flame's traveling through each of these tubes, and the heat is causing it to expand, and then, of course, it gets cold, it contracts, and basically it's just doing that over and over and over again. So you can imagine that these little cracks and crevices that we're seeing drips coming through are just going to get worse. So there's no telling what it may be 6 months or a year down the road compared to what it is today. So the moral of the story here is, if your HVAC guy comes in and waves around a carbon monoxide detector inside of the house and doesn't pick up anything, that does not mean that your heat exchanger is not cracked or breached, and should be tested properly.